everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back if this is your third Season 2 episode review for High School Musical, the series. It's not getting old, This week, I saw this episode earlier than normal because work schedule wise, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. The next few weeks of the reviews will be very gapped out. It's still coming out Saturday mornings no matter what, but because of my personal life becoming a little bit more infrequent with the reviews. So what's going to happen going forward is that sometimes I'll watch the episodes in the morning, and then I won't be able to get to the review at night. So even my already butchered recaps will be even more butchered since I'm going for a whole day of stuff until I won't entirely 100% this episode, remember each episode specifically. So again, remember, please go watch the episode in full before you hear my review, because I'm really going to butcher it. So when it comes to this week, I watched this, I think, as soon as I was about to head to the gym. And then I'm reviewing this 9 o'clock at night. So it's been 11 hours since I've seen this episode. So I apologize. But I really thought this week was... It's all about love, because it's their Valentine's Day episode. Of course, obviously, we're really far past Valentine's Day, so it's not in the right time space. But however, this was a very sweet episode. It definitely brought in a lot of more personal questions in people, kind of like figuring out what their mental psyche is at this point in the show. We don't really get much updates on the musical itself. I feel like the last 2 weeks were so more musical progression friendly that it was time to just get an episode where we're just focusing on the characters and not really focusing on the entire musical per se. So that was more in line with what I was hoping for with this week's episode. But with that being said, let's go through the butchered recap and talk about this week's episode of High School Musical, the series. We begin in, I think, probably the best cold opening we've seen in the entire show's history. I know it's only been 2 seasons, but it's been 3 years for me, so come on. So Nini's made a really big day trip all the way back to Utah to surprise Ricky for a pre-Valentine's Day soiree by singing him a song in that cliche playing music outside their window type thing. She writes him another original song, and it's actually pretty sweet. She got her ukulele out, she got the microphone, she got the speaker out, and she starts playing it, and some random girl leaves Ricky's window. I'm like, okay, did Ricky seriously bring someone to his house? And then I remember, oh no, wait, Ricky and his dad moved. Meanwhile for Ricky, he's also on the move. He's actually in Denver. He was going to surprise Nini with the same thing, like an original song outside her doorstep. And I believe one of the student mates tells him, oh, she left the day early. She's not on campus anymore. And also, really? Original song? Singing it to her? Outside her door? Everyone does that around here. And Ricky's like, oof. Maybe he should have called ahead. Or maybe he should have planned this out better. Maybe these two are like just the same level of romantic, where it's like, hey, we're both going to go to each other on Valentine's Day, even though one didn't. I love these two characters. We cut to the next day where Ricky is exhausted because he literally took a bus ride back as soon as he found out that Nini wasn't in Denver, back in Utah. So he had to take an entire freaking night bus back and still go to school. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But that is relatable. One time I lost my cell phone at school, but I thought someone stole it, and then I used the Find My Phone feature. And supposedly the phone was out in the middle of a nearby neighborhood, so I was told by my folks to go out in the middle of the night. Now keep in mind, it was a school night, it was 9 o'clock at night, I believe, and I was boarding a bus to head back to my school area, which was an hour away by bus. So keep that in mind. They made me go out in the middle of the night without a phone, without any sort of way to contact them, in the middle of the night. And after 2 hours of searching, when I got there, I had to hop on the next bus back home. I got back home, I think, around 3 a.m. in the morning. I still had to wake up at 7 a.m. for school. And that's another story for another time. I'll probably tell on the podcast someday. But anyway, back to High School Musical. Yeah, Ricky and Nini finally got on the phone with each other. They're surprised that they were able to, like, think about each other in that romantic sense to that extreme. But Nene does feel bad that Ricky had to travel all the way back by bus. And Nene had the suggestion like, oh, let's just sing each other our songs over the phone, so that we don't have to like waste the opportunity already. But before Ricky's about to perform, EJ comes in to tell him that, hey, we're about to start rehearsal, so you might want to get in there, Mr. Beast. So Ricky hangs up the phone. EJ is a bit different again, as he basically gives another reason to why he's not involved in this week's episode, where he basically says, this is my first Valentine's Day in forever where I don't have a girlfriend. And EJ, as someone who's never had a girlfriend on Valentine's Day, suck it. Also, once again, for the third week in a row, EJ does nothing to the plot. He does nothing. He always gives some chanderistic excuse to, oh, I don't have any sort of stake in this week's episode, so don't include me much. Maybe he should just graduate and give himself another slot. I apologize. Oh, sorry. I had a tomato salad. I got pepper in my throat. Sorry. So they end for rehearsals. They're doing the big dance scene from Beauty and the Beast. I've never seen Beauty and the Beast, by the way. Still haven't. I've been very busy this week. They're about to do so. Obviously, Ricky is exhausted. Well, the dance doesn't really go so well because Ricky is exhausted because of his commute from Denver back to Utah, and for Ashley, she's a bit uncomfortable playing Belle. We'll get to more on that in a minute, but the dance doesn't really go so well, and she asked Miss Jen if she could take like a little bit of a 5-minute break, which she does. I don't think we get a scene with her yet. I don't believe so. I don't know exactly what happened in the context of this scene. I do remember, I completely forgot what the hell happened in this scene per se. I know Valentine's Day is on the subject, Mark. That's basically it. I don't remember what entirely happened in this scene. I do remember... No, I don't remember anything after all. The only thing, a consequence I remember of this scene is that Carlos gives his boyfriend a very cute present. He gives him like a little tiny designer bag, which I thought, oh, that's cute. And then instead just look under, and it turns out to be an old-fashioned sled from... when his boyfriend, I think his name is Seb, I believe. I don't remember. I apologize. I don't remember all the names. I'll remember in a couple of weeks because he's a main player. He mentioned when he was a kid that he had this sled that he used to have, but he outgrew it when he grew up. So Carlos got him a new version. And I'm like, good for you, Carlos. You listen. I'm happy. I'm really happy. But meanwhile, his boyfriend is a bit embarrassed since he didn't get anything really of worth to Carlos. So now he has to scramble to find a gift for him. I do believe we get a scene at some point. I'm not sure if it's entirely this before everything or after. I don't entirely remember. I think it was after, to be honest. Or it could be before. Yeah, it was probably before, where Courtney reveals she got a job at the pizza place that Big Red's mom owns, and also that the Big Red works at. She's the assistant manager, which is kind of weird for Courtney because has she ever had experience before? She immediately goes to assistant manager. Weird, but she's there. She's ready to make some changes. There's a delivery dude, and he's not down for it because he says, "Hey, look, I've been through 5 assistant managers in the last 2-3 months, so you probably won't be around that much for me to even like care about it. So don't worry about it." Even when Courtney feels insulted that the fact that like, oh, you're just gonna leave at some point soon. So what does it even matter if I need to know your name or if you want to implement any changes, so to speak? He has a point, but anyway. I believe we split off a lot of directions here per se. I believe. I know there's so many directions to go in. There's so many good storylines this week. Ricky and Big Red are walking. It turns out Big Red wants to make a big surprise for Ashley for their first official Valentine's Day, as well as he wants to showcase that he is worthy of being with Ashley now that she's been cast as Belle in the big musical. So he wants to make sure that she knows that he's worthy of being her boyfriend. So he wants to jump out of her locker and make a big dance number for her. And when he gets into her locker, he accidentally locked himself inside. But instead of telling Ricky the combo like a logical person, he just tells Ricky, go get someone. So Ricky does, but he gets a phone call from Nene, who has to delay their inevitable Valentine's Day meetup since one of her moms got into a little bit of an ice skating accident. So she's at the hospital right now getting an X-ray scan to see what the damage is. So they have to push back their thing already. I don't believe... Do we get to see with Ricky later? I don't entirely remember. I know Ashley and Gina eventually walk around the corner to her locker where she admits the whole reason why she's a bit nervous about everything is because she's happy with herself and she's very happy she got the role, but she doesn't feel like she is Belle, as she assumes... Not assumes, like she sees the animated version and then she sees... I'm pretty sure they... It's weird. I don't know if they confirmed the 2017 remake is canon. I don't really know for sure. But actually, I'm pretty sure it is canon since like Disney is a thing. So let's just assume, yeah, the 2017 remake happened in this universe. Like everyone has a clear vision on who Bella should look like figure-wise. And for Ashley, she looks at herself like, I'm not Bella. But I don't think it matters, in my opinion, because I remember distinctly when Harry Potter and the Cursed Child happened and the whole Hermione Granger casting news happened where obviously for us, in the movie sense, she's always been African American. I mean, no, sorry, I got that confused. She was British. She was Caucasian. She was played by Emma Watson. And then when they did the play, they cast an African American actress. I don't know the actress's name. I completely forgot. Sorry, I haven't even seen the play yet. I really want to go see it. I was going to plan on seeing it. The epidemic happened, so hopefully later on this year, next year, I'll get to see it. But they cast someone of that ethnicity, but and then a lot of people were like, no, Hermione Granger is white. She's a British white. But then J.K. Rowling, way before all the accusations and the comments about it were released, she said publicly that she never wrote Hermione Granger to be white as Caucasian. She never distinctly wrote that in her books to be the case. So she's had that the fluidity of like, we can cast anyone who embodies the elements of Hermione Granger. That's what I view here for Ashley, a case to become Belle. Is I know there's a play or whatever, but voice wise, Ashley's got what it takes to beat Belle. And I think she's going to be a great Belle once we get to the end of the season. We're going to see that happen. But I feel like we're going to go on this a little bit of a journey, kind of similar to when Falcon had to go through all the journey to like figure out like, yeah, he's worthy to be Captain America. I think Ashley has to be conscious, like she is worthy of being Belle, but I don't know how much of that's going to take for her to get to that point. Eventually she lets Big Red out of her locker, and he's still like, I'm sorry, this surprise was ruined, but like, come by the pizza plate, I got an even bigger surprise for you, so get ready. So he leaves and skedaddles on that. I think we get to Ricky's house. Well, not Ricky's house, Ricky's new apartment, which is still in boxes shambles, and he's rehearsing the song for Nene and getting that all acoustic before they meet up. And he gets a ring on the doorbell. He assumes it is Nene, so he answers the door. It's actually Gina, who's looking for some companionship since Ashley's out with Big Red, and then everyone else is busy with their own Valentine's Day plans. For Gina, she just needs someone to talk to since normally on every Valentine's Day, her Valentine would be her mom. And this year was the first year that her mom and her are not together right now because they're separated by state. And she's worried if she's going to even send her the their normal Valentine's Day presents that they usually do. And she feels bad because, like, right now, even though, like, yeah, Ashley took her in or whatever, but she just feels alone right now. And a lot of people say, actually, we'll talk about this more towards the end. Ricky wants to get involved in this conversation, he is, but then he keeps getting distracted by Nene and, you know, him getting the call from her and, you know, about the whole, like, hey, we got to push back our meetup later on because I got to be the good daughter here and just stay with my mom's for a bit, which is a smart move right there. And then Gina just, I think she's, honestly, I think by the cue of this scene is that Gina is jealous of Ricky and Nene. Because I commented on this on the first episode review for this season, and I said that I do believe that I think Gina was just jealous of Ricky and Nene, not because of a romantic nature, but because she views them as big rivals when it comes to getting big parts in musicals, because they're going to probably be the big two to like get the role. But in this instance, I feel it's more romantic, since Ricky and Gina were inching towards something romantic. Then Nene popped back into the picture and kind of, you know, fix things up with Ricky. So I do think she does have feelings for Ricky still, but she has to respect that Ricky is with Nene right now and he really loves her. So But Gina does kind of like blow up a little bit and just tell Ricky, just give her the song already. Just call her up again and just sing her the song. I mean, that's all she wants to hear, the song. Don't worry about it. Which kind of makes Ricky think for a bit, but we'll get back to more of that in a second. I think we're back in the school where Courtney is with Seb, or Carlos's boyfriend, and well, he's trying to figure out an idea to like give Carlos for a present. While Courtney, oh yeah, I remember in the scene back with the dance number, Miss Jen makes a note that when Courtney was singing the song for that scene, that she wasn't 100% into it, and that she needs to find the right vocal pitch to perform that song that Courtney hasn't found yet. So Courtney is just trying to like figure out what is her comfortable pitch that will honor the musical and it honors what she is as a singer. Oh god, this tea is hot, but this is perfect. What I mean, because I ate a lot of food today. Okay, so they both help each other out, and they're actually pretty, bondy towards each other. So that's a pretty good scene to see. I believe, do we get another scene? Oh yeah, the one last scene before we get into like all the nighttime stuff is that Miss Jen is, I'm presuming we're just like doing some more work on the musical itself at her office. And then the girl who auditioned last week who didn't get a part and is now transferring to North High, she is popping by to say goodbye to Miss Jen as she's transferring up north, no pun intended there. And she is basically trying to fool around with Miss Jen. Is like, I think she's just trying to imply like, I'm eventually going to get back at you. I'm eventually going to get revenge on you. And will it be next week or the week after that? Who knows? But I'm pretty sure we're going to have a big shock at some point in the future. But she leaves her high and dry. Well, she leaves in a Batman fashion where it's like, she's there 1 minute, then Miss Jen turns around, then the next minute she's gone. Where'd she go? I don't know. I really don't know. Then the science robotics teacher that is kind of a douchebag, walks through the hall. Miss Jen stops him, asks him, have you seen her? And, obviously asks him, like, what are you doing here? Like, it's Valentine's Day. You should be out, doing something. He says, no, I'd rather be perusing the halls. And Miss Jen basically just blatantly asks, hey, you want to go get a slice? You want to go get some dinner? I'm like, nice, Miss Jen, getting back out there. Nice. So I believe we get into a multitude of directions here. I believe so. We're all convening at the restaurant. Another short, no, just quite, no, not yet. Big Red has a big, karaoke song thing planned for Ashley, but she stops him before anything, because she's not 100% comfortable right now. Not with the relationship, just in general with the whole Belle thing. And, it's just another sake of, like, them talking to each other, being honest with each other, having open communication. And they both understand. She was like, wow, I thought, this and that. And he thought this and that. So it's like, it's great that how very successful and easy relationships are when you actually do a thing called communication. Because that is an aspect of a relationship, to talk and to be vocal on what you want. So that was smart. Anyway, I think from there, where do we go? Do we get, yeah, also we get in a camera pan scene. Carlos and Seb are there for their Valentine's Day dinner, and Seb's about to give him his present, which is a plant pot, which Carlos is confused by, but Seb again is openly admitting to say, look, I didn't know what to do. He was being honest and communicating, which I'm like, thank you so much. I really wish more teenagers and more people were like that nowadays. It would make things so much easier, don't you think? I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm just saying in general, like in actual conversations of what people our age are doing right now. Well, people my age and younger. Is the microphone recording? The microphone's recording. Then Miss Jen and the other teacher walk in, and it seems like they're doing fairly well, and it feels like, oh, maybe there is a romantic nature here. And then I completely forgot Miss Jen had a thing for Ricky's dad. I completely forgot, and obviously Miss Jen I don't think she knows that his ex-wife is now his ex-wife, so I don't entirely remember if he told her yet or if they've been in touch. I really don't know. But I kind of do feel bad for the teacher here, the robotics teacher here, because he basically tells Miss Jen, why don't you just go talk to him? And we get a slow pan in his face, like he actually likes her. Like he actually does, and he feels bad that she's going for another guy. I mean, how's that gonna make anyone feel? And trust me, I definitely know the feel. I really do. From there, where do we go? Do we wrap it up there with Courtney? Yeah, Courtney is wrapping up her assistant manager duties. The dude that was kind of like not criticizing her, but kind of like not accepting her right away because of like previous experience has. Turns out, based on just one day alone, all the changes Courtney made has actually been beneficial towards the store and him. So he says, "I guess I was wrong. You know, you were right." And it seems like they're on a pretty solid footing. And then that's when Courtney starts to realize what is the right tone for her iteration, for her performance of this amazing song. And he sings it, and Ashley and Big Red managed to hear about it. I think they danced to this, I believe. I don't entirely remember. But I think they danced to it, and it was actually pretty sweet. It was only the only musical moment in the episode, but it was actually a pretty low-key sweet moment. I believe... I'm trying to remember, are we forgetting anything? Oh, yeah, I know we had a scene where Gina is at Ashley's house, and she sees, like, this big box of chocolates. And then, coincidentally, around the same time, she gets a text from Ricky just telling her, "Hey, thank you so much for, you know, her advice today. I really appreciated it." So she starts assuming that, oh, Ricky sent me the chocolates to be nice to me. Or maybe he actually does have feelings for me. But meanwhile, back at both Ricky and Nene, so it turns out they never got to meet up on their Valentine's Day together. So they're deciding to. Well, they try to call each other, but another thing about Destiny is that they call each other exactly at the same time, so they just goes through each other's voicemail boxes. So they both decide to leave each other a voicemail recording of their songs, which honestly just goes hand in hand, since I think Ricky is talking about being far away from Denver, and Nene's talking about how much closer she wants to be to Utah. Basically describing like how much they want to be together right now, but because of how things are right now, they just can't. And it was actually pretty sweet to hear like a duet without them being in the same room. Could be, I want to call this the COVID duet, but I might get criticized for that. But after they record their songs, they got each other's notification that they got the sending of the song. But another thing that's concerning was that when Gina sent Ricky a supposed thank you text message about the chocolates, she gets another text message at the same time from her mom, realizing the chocolates were from her mom, not from Ricky. And now that Gina's just sent that message to Ricky, now Ricky might get the wrong assumption of things. So we're like, uh-oh, something gonna happen. What's gonna happen? We don't know. We really don't know. I want to make sure, did we cover everything before I ended? I think, okay, there is the stuff. I saw I was pulling out something from my foot. I think that was it for this week. I believe so. I think we covered all the major points there. So I feel like this was a really solid episode. I really liked the themes of this episode. I really did. I liked the theme of trying to figure out if you're worthy for something, all the spirit about love, and just trying to figure out what you should correctly do, that sort of thing. I love all those themes. I really did. And I think this was another solid episode of the show, overall speaking. Again, I'm not a big fan of what they're doing with EJ this season. It's been 3 episodes, and he's just background character. That's basically it. He's not doing much. I'm putting my tea on my foot, so it's so freaking hot. That woke me up. I'm sorry, but like, unless they do something big like they did with another show I did, where they introduced something like a little bit later in the season, like I really hope we give something for EJ, since I just wanted to. I want him to do something. Okay, I'm sorry. He's just been, ever since he broke up with Nene, he's just been there. He's been a friend to them, but he's not getting any storylines. Like, I know it's an ensemble cast, but come on, give him something to work with. Also, I forgot we got like an imaginary dance number with Big Red's original performance for Ashley in the Locker. I forgot about that scene. But like, give me something to work with, please, for the love of God. And also, so anyway, enough badgering about EJ. On Ricky and Nene, it was sweet. It was kind of weird that they weren't in the same room together again this episode. I want to say this was written pre-COVID and pre-whatever drama happened between them, if there was any at all. But I just find it very weird that it's like on Valentine's Day, they didn't get a scene together at all. Like, I'm pretty sure this is trying to make their eventual reunion to be more touching and more grandiose, hopefully. I really hope that. But in general, in terms of like just this episode, it felt kind of weird for me. And also could just be maybe they just came back from COVID, so they just wanted to take advantage of like, hey, let's just find a way to film around it. But like, I'm pretty sure they just written up the storyline like, oh, they're just not going to be together a lot this season, so it worked out in the benefit of the show, I guess. Also helping against COVID. Who knows really the entire background story? Because like Nene she was acting alone this week. Besides that one woman in the start of the episode, she didn't really interact with anyone this episode in person, which could be a sign of COVID, but could be not. Maybe this is the way things were written. Who knows, really? I like how Big Red and Ashley, and as well as Carlos and Seb, are being open and communicative. Like, they're having the standard relationship problems. They're having those normal tropes, but they're being communicative on it. They're being honest about it. They're talking about it, which is great because it solves so many problems early on without everything going on. I think it was fine. We delved back into like Gina's uncertainty with her feelings for Ricky. I think it was fine. I wasn't really much of a fan of it in season 1 per se, because I was not on any sort of shipping wagon during season 1. I really wasn't. I wasn't on Team Ricky. I wasn't on Team EJ. I wasn't on anyone's team. This is kind of fine because she is alone right now. Gina is a lonely person right now, even with Ashley in her life. She doesn't have like a really trusted figure to go to right now because, again, her mom's all the way in another state and she doesn't have a boyfriend. And she has friends, but like I don't think she can fully confide in them right now, besides Ashley maybe, but who really knows. And also I think I forgot one thing. Also, I feel sorry for the teacher. I really did. I really hope he eventually kind of tells Miss Jen, hey, look, I'm potential here. Notice me, please. Because I feel like if it wasn't for Miss Jen's ex-boyfriend or Ricky's dad, I think like they could have been a couple already. But like I think Miss Jen's just like playing the field a little bit, if you know what I mean. If you know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying. But overall, I think this was a very solid episode. It was a very nice, sweet episode with everything Valentine's Day related. All about love this week, which I really appreciate. So I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. I thought it was really good. Please give something for EJ to do. For the love of God, writers. There's 9 episodes left. Please. Por favor. Por favor, please. So I think that's going to do it for me this week, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the second season of High School Musical, the musical, the series. If you want to see more of us, please subscribe to ActionX on YouTube.com. If you want to know what we're doing overall on What's in the Tube, besides our High School Musical reviews, we are doing rookie reviews each and every Monday mornings after a brand new episode on Sunday nights on ABC or on Hulu the next day. Season 3 of The Rookie has wrapped up. So this Monday, we're doing a Season 4 predictions video. We're going to talk about all the predictions I have that hope I get to see in the 4th season of The Rookie coming out this fall on ABC as well. We're also doing Nancy Drew Season 2 episode reviews each and every Thursday morning after a brand new episode on Wednesday nights on the CW or free the next day on the CW app. This Thursday is the season finale review. So after that's over, next week we're going to go into a season 2 review proper, and then the week after that we're going to do a season 3 predictions video, wrapping up our Nancy Drew coverage for the year. Then also on Friday mornings we do our Walker episode reviews. After a brand new episode on Thursday nights on the CW or free the next day on the CW app. That's still on another break for another week. We'll be back on that for the week after this coming one. But if you don't care about High School Musical, you're in luck. We'll be back next week with another episode of the show, which will finally give us the scene. Because I want to know the context behind the scene. I look at all their faces. I want to know what's going on. Tell me what's going on, Disney. The sneak peek didn't help us out. Like, I want to know why Big Red's making that face. Why is he making that face? Actually, I'm gonna tweet out the actor who did that. I want to know. I want to know right now. I'm gonna tweet him out. Someone remind me of it. But that's next week. But again, like, favorite, share this review if you want to. If you haven't yet, it helps us get us out to other members of the Wildcat family who has yet to discover us. It helps us beat up that YouTube algorithm that hates me oh so much. And sharing is always for free. And follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates for the channel. Ring that bell for notification when our next High School Musical review is live. And for all you Wildcats out there, I'll see you all next week on the next review. But until next week, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.